Hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video is my April reading wrap-up. In the month of April I read 8 books and I rated them 1 a 2-star, 1 a 3-star, 1 a 4-star and 5 at 5 stars. The 2-star book that I read this month was A Clockwork Orange by Anthony Burgess. The story follows 15-year-old Alex, who is an irreprehensible a-hole. I hated his character, and even though the controversial reputation of the film, which I will admit I haven't seen, what happens in the book, what he does in the book is even, some of the things are even worse. This kid deserves everything he gets, and then some. The story itself is quite an interesting story, but the main thing that really put me off, apart from some of the actions of Alex, was the language that is used. Anthony Burgess kind of creates a amalgamation of Eastern European and certain English slang words, and it actually detracts from the story rather than adds to it. It's a gimmick that doesn't really work. If the language was used in the dialogue portions of the book, it probably would have made this book go up 1, maybe even 2 more stars. But as he uses it also in the prose, it makes reading the book very, very difficult, and you really have to concentrate on what's being said and try and work out with the context of the story what is actually being said and what it actually means. It is worth reading at least once, but I wouldn't read it again. The next book, the 3-star book, is Ender's Game by Orson Scott Card. The story follows a child called Andrew Ender Wiggin, who is basically bred to be trained to be the ultimate commander of a battle fleet, sent to destroy a race on another planet, a bug-like race on another planet. If you've seen the film adaptation, it's quite close to the book. There are a number of differences, the major one being the children's ages. They are much younger in the book than they are in the film. The story itself is adequate and enjoyable, but nothing really special. The next book, the 4-star book, is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. As well as reading it on my Kindle, I also listened to it at the same time on Audible, and it is read by Kate Mulgrew. The story is about a man called Charles Manx who kidnaps children in his Rolls-Royce Wraith car, the one pictured on the cover, which has the license plate NOS 4R2, Nosferatu, and the woman who attempts to stop him, a young woman called Vic. The author, Joe Hill, is the son of Stephen King, and you can tell that that influence of his father has rubbed off on the son, His stories are just as good, just as spooky as Stephen King's. And I have read others of Joe Hill, and I have some others to read of his. This is a very good book. I only give it 4 stars because I needed the audio to keep my attention on reading it because it is quite long. And the next book, the next 5-star, goes to The Cuckoo's Calling by Robert Galbraith, which is the pen name of J.K. Rowling. The story is about the apparent suicide of a supermodel and the private detective, Cormoran Strike, who is hired to find out if it really was suicide or if she was murdered. I also listened to this book on Audible, as well as read it on my Kindle. It is read by Robert Glenister. The next book, another 5-star, Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Ready Player One is a fun story filled with 80s nostalgia, which I am old enough to remember. The next 5-star book is Carrie by Stephen King. I think pretty much all of us know the story of Carrie, so I won't really go into that. But I read this book every year. It is the first book that I ever read cover to cover in one sitting, and the only other books I've done that with are the first 2 Harry Potter novels. Yeah, I really enjoy this book. It has one of my most hated characters in it, which is Carrie's mum. She rivals Professor Umbridge in detestability, really. This is Stephen King's first published novel, and it is relatively short, especially compared to a lot of King's work. The final 2 books, 2 5-star books, are the first 2 parts of The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring and The Two Towers. This is also one of the books that I reread every year. This, Carrie, and the Harry Potter series, I pretty much reread every year. I listen to this one on Audible as well. It is read on Audible by Robert Inglis, and I'll go more into this book next month's wrap up once I've finished the final part, The Return of the King. And that's it for this month. I hope you enjoyed that wrap up. If you did, please like, share and subscribe, and all the usual stuff, and I will see you in the next one.